Here. Again, my name is Caroline Hoffman, and I'm in the Cincinnati area. I'm a community development manager, and we are going to talk about how to help out your local animal shelter. So, what is being a foster? So, when you are a foster for a local animal shelter, you basically agree to take an animal from them and keep them in your home, and you get to learn a little bit more about that animal. You get to take care of them, and the animal shelter will give you all of the supplies that you need to take care of that animal while you foster them. So, for example, when I got Rafa, they gave me a big crate that we use as his kennel. They gave me his food. They gave me bowls for him for his food and his water. They gave me toys. They gave me treats, a leash, a collar, poop bags, because, you should always clean up after your animals, especially dogs. Anything that you could need. And anytime I run out of anything, like Rafa eats a lot, so sometimes I run out of wet dog food, I just call the SPCA and I say, hey, I need more wet dog food. And they say, come on out. And we do a contactless pickup drop-off situation where they leave out whatever I need outside their doors and I go grab it. Fostering is really important because we get to learn a lot more about the animals. So sometimes at a local animal shelter, you don't really know the background behind an animal. I know. Come on, buddy. You can come back up here. There we go. You don't really know the background behind an animal. So, for example, so Rafa here, for example, he was surrendered by his owners. Let's see if I can get him on camera here. Rafa, do you want to say hi? He was surrendered by his owners to the SPCA. They had him for 10 years, and when they had him, he was not fixed, so he was not neutered. And they had a new baby, and they suddenly stopped paying attention to Rafa, and Rafa does have some attention issues, some abandonment issues. So if you can't foster, that's okay. Not everybody's in a position to foster, It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of commitment. And you need to be sure that that's something that you are able and willing to do. Even though the shelter will, again, provide you all of the resources you need, food, water, well, not water, food, toys, a kennel, blankets, anything that you need, you still have to have the time and the dedication to be able to take care of this animal, Fostering is also a great time to work on any behavioral things with them. So if they do have accidents inside the house, that's fostering the animal is a really great time to work with them on, getting them house trained, housebroken. But if you don't have time to foster, not everybody does, there are still lots of other ways that you can help out your local animal shelter. The first way that you can do that is donations. So animal shelters are always accepting donations, and those come in a couple of different ways. So you can donate food, you can donate toys, you can donate beds, you can donate treats, literally anything that's for an animal, they will probably accept. Excuse me, my allergies are getting the best of me today. And they will be so grateful, especially toys. The animals tend to go through a lot of toys, and it's really important for animals to have enrichment. Enrichment is where you give animals new experiences, and it kind of gives them exercise for their brain. So I'm going to teach you guys a couple of different toys to make today that you can donate. They are super simple, super easy, and things that you probably already have around your home. That you need pipe cleaners and a t-shirt, okay? So the first toy that we're going to make is called a pipe cleaner spider, and it is a cat toy. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take your pipe cleaners, okay? So I am going to take these two pipe cleaners right here, okay? I'm gonna put them together. I'm gonna grab my scissors and let's see, let's fold these. I'm just gonna cut them in the middle so that I have 4 separate pieces. Here we go. I'm gonna put the 4 pieces together again, and I'm just going to twist in the middle. Cool. So that they're all together like this. Okay. Then I'm gonna take a different pipe cleaner, so my 3rd pipe cleaner. We're gonna use purple here. And we're just gonna wrap it around the middle, and this is gonna make the body of the spider. Let's see. Okay, so we see over here that we've created a little body, and it kind of just looks like this. So what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna separate these out, the little ends out. These are gonna be our legs. Oops. So it looks like this, and then we're going to bend all of the legs down. Okay, so it looks like this. And then we're going to create the knees by bending in the middle of each leg a 90-degree angle. You kind of want to get it close to the middle and kind of make them all in the same place. And then our final step, we're just going to, again, make a 90-degree angle and bend out the end to make the feet. There you go. You can play with it, and let's see. It should stand up on its own like that. And then this is optional. My cat refuses to play with any of the toys I've actually bought her and just loves pipe cleaners. So I like to make these for her because they stand up on their own and she can just bat them around. But sometimes you can also take a string, doesn't really matter the length, just as long as it's long enough to dangle, tie the string around the middle, and then you can just dangle it for them. And these are really great enrichment for shelters because it allows the cats to experience something new. It's super cheap, super easy, and they can just play with them all day. Toys tend not to last super long in a shelter environment because there are just so many different animals that play with them. So things that you can make a lot of and that are super easy and simple, those tend to work really, really well. Sometimes we can be tempted to like go out and buy a bunch of like really expensive toys and donate them to the shelter. And those are nice, but sometimes they're not going to last as long, or, well, they'll last longer, but they're not going to have as much impact as something just like as simple as this, right? So our next toy that we're going to make is a dog toy. So I went ahead and I found an old t-shirt of mine. It's all going to fall down. It's fine. And I cut it up into strips before this video. So I just kind of cut along the bottom of my t-shirt and then I just ripped. You can use as many t-shirts as you want. You can use different colors and make a cool design or pattern. But as long as you just have strips that are kind of long like this, that's really all that you're gonna need. So once you've done that, you're gonna cut your t-shirt up, right? Into as many strips as you can get. And you're gonna line up the ends. So that they're all hanging down and they're all about the same length. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be pretty. Because again, these toys aren't going to stay pretty for very long. The dogs and cats are just so excited to have some new toys that they don't really care what it looks like. Okay, so you can, at this point, you can either tie off the ends, the first end like this, or I find it easier to take a rubber band at first and just secure it. And then I tie off the ends later. And then all we're gonna do is braid. So section your t-shirt pieces off into 3 sections. And then we're just gonna braid. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so then when I've reached the end and I've got a couple inches left, I'm just gonna tie it off. Just like that. I'm gonna take my rubber band off the other end. Maybe. And tie this end off. And there we go. This is a fun tug of war toy that you can donate. So if you have any old toy t-shirts laying around, this is a really great way to recycle them and make a different. You can just find a local shelter in your area. That can be, a local humane society, or really any that you want to, and just ask them about fostering, or you can call and ask them what they need to